morning, friends, families, students, colleagues. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the Sally Borden Culminating Celebration. At the end of a long year of hard work, this morning is a chance for us to come together in celebration. Today is a celebration of neurodiversity, a celebration of the unique journeys of each student, and a celebration of the power of a supportive community to bring out the best in all of us. Mrs. Martis, in her kind but firm way, has made it clear that I am not to be long-winded in my welcome this morning. She knows that when I get started on a story or anecdote, it can take me a little while to get to my point. Instead, Mrs. Martis wants the emphasis to be on the accomplishments of our students. She wants the 8th graders to be able to give voice to their journeys as human beings and learners throughout their years in the Sally Borden program. And I couldn't agree more. At the same time, I can't resist this opportunity to publicly say thank you to Mrs. Martis for her leadership of the Sally Borden program over the last 3 years. From her start at FA as a learning specialist to her current work, Mrs. Martis has distinguished herself through her curiosity and her ability to see and implement new ideas, new research, and new tools that can transform the learning experience for our students. I'm deeply appreciative of all that she's given to the Sally Borden program and to our school, and I'm looking forward to the next chapter in her work with SBP as the Director of Outreach next year. Thank you, Mrs. Martis. Thank you all for being here this morning.
Thank you, Mr. Kennedy. You weren't long-winded at all. Welcome families, faculty, and students to this year's Sally Borden Culmination Ceremony. Thank you all for joining us this morning. This is a cherished event within our Friends Academy community to acknowledge the hard work and dedication of the students who sit here before you today. We look forward to this celebration every year because it is an opportunity to formally recognize the students' achievements after a year's worth of effort and determination. As you will hear in the speeches presented by their teachers, these students have achieved countless hard-earned victories, improving their reading fluency, writing stories and essays, solving math problems with greater ease, and more. What you will also hear, and what I may argue is more important than the actual victories themselves, is the character of these students. I recently attended a graduation ceremony where the student speaker passed along thoughtful advice to her fellow classmates that I'd like to share right now. She suggested to consider not only what you are, but who you are. In other words, your label and identity is one part of what defines you. Your traits and how you move through this world also define you. As an example, all the students here today are Friends Academy students and take classes within the Sally Borden program. Many of them are also athletes, performers, and artists. They are family members and friends. Behind these labels, however, are traits that they exhibit as they go about these roles: self-aware, hardworking, kind, open-minded, positive, resilient. To the students, be proud of not only what you are and what you do, but who you are. Your teachers and I could not be more proud of you. We see who you are as you put in the work each day. Today we celebrate not just your achievements, but what it took to accomplish what you did. We are proud of you for maintaining a positive spirit, being open-minded to suggestions, and exhibiting a desire to learn and to grow. Students, I also encourage you to continue to find the things that bring out those traits in you. Find your passions and the areas in which you succeed and allow the best parts of you to shine. Hopefully, Friends Academy is a place where you can do just that. I know it's been a place where I've always felt that way. Maybe it's through sports, drama, community service, or academics. Your families, teachers, and I want you to find a place where you can live out the strengths that all of you have. We are cheering for you always. Speaking of strengths, wait until you hear from our incredible group of 8th graders toward the end of the event. They will share their own speeches that highlight the self-awareness and the confidence that they have developed in their time in the Sally Borden program. And now, I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge the work of the educators that support the growth of these amazing students. The Sally Borden program faculty put in a great amount of effort and care into nurturing these students, both academically and emotionally. And for that, I want to formally express appreciation and gratitude. And if we are sticking to our theme of not only acknowledging what they do, but who they are, I would choose the following words to describe our group of SBP teachers: optimistic, unwavering, and incredibly supportive. Faculty, when I announce your name, please stand. Lindsay Bellageron. Megan Brillo. Cassidy Sestodio. Mary Beth Cleary. Bridget Conlon. Jennifer Costa. Abigail DeRigo. Carla Landreth. Tisha McGonigal. Megan O'Brien. Patricia Palmer. Lauren Beaton. One more round of applause for all of our faculty. Thank you, faculty, for being champions for these students and for all students who learn differently. Lastly, thank you, families, for your partnership as it moves the work we do at school forward. Students benefit greatly from strong home and school connections, so we really appreciate the ability to build relationships with you. Thank you for trusting us and allowing us the opportunity to know your children. And now, let us begin the formal recognition part of the program. Tisha McGonigal will join us on stage to acknowledge the 1st and 2nd grade students in the Bridge program.
Good morning, everyone. Today, I want to take a moment to recognize 3 incredible students. Harper, Marco, Leo, will you please stand? Leo, I enjoyed working with you this year. Your zest for life is infectious. I'll miss starting my day with your big smile, your funny stories, and your daily stroll past Ms. Parker's desk to give her a hearty, "Good morning, Ms. Parker." You kept me on my toes, always finding new and unsuspecting ways to incorporate games and movement into our sessions. Watching your confidence grow and reading and spelling skills improve have been awesome. Keep up the good work. Marco and Harper, working with both of you has been an absolute privilege. Your unwavering determination and positive attitude has been truly inspiring. You face challenges with courage and never give up, demonstrating what it means to persevere. You are always kind and eager to help each other conquer tough concepts. Your playful nature ensured we never had a dull moment. From practical jokes and silly stories to torturing me with the Hocus Pocus rendition of One Way or Another video for every brain break, there was always something to make us laugh our way through each lesson. Resilience, hard work, and the power of a positive mindset helped you to do hard things. Watching you grow and succeed has been one of the highlights of my year. I I am incredibly proud of both of you and you, and excited to see all the amazing things you will achieve next year in the Sally Borden program.
Third grade, please join us on stage. Thank you to everyone who is here today to help support our students. They have worked incredibly hard and made tremendous growth. Without the support, partnerships, and collaboration from your families, this would not be possible. Thank you for all that you do for our students. This year, every Friday morning, students in SBP 3 and SBP 4 gather together to learn about their brains. During the block we affectionately called Brain Studies, we discussed many of the important jobs our brain has in keeping us functioning, such as our emotional regulation and our ability to learn new information. Students learned to harness the strengths of their brain and feel empowered using this new knowledge, both inside and outside of school. In honor of Brain Studies, we are awarding each student with an impressive part of the human brain that exemplifies or metaphorically connects to the strength and areas of growth that they made this year. Without further ado, here is the first award. Nate, you are receiving our Prefrontal Cortex Award. The prefrontal cortex is the brain structure that is thought of as the personality center and is the cortical region that makes us uniquely human. Nate, this award not only represents your unique and lively personality, but your infectious energy. You face challenges head-on with a calm and thoughtful demeanor. Your charisma and your sense of humor has helped you build meaningful relationships with peers and staff. Thank you for being a valued member of our community, Nate. You left a large impact on our class, and I can't wait to see what you accomplish in 4th grade and beyond. Way to go, Nate. John Marie, you are receiving our Amygdala Award. The amygdala is the brain structure that is thought of as the emotional center, like the movie Inside Out. John Marie, you exemplify joy. You spread it wherever you go. You start each day with cheerful enthusiasm. Your optimism breathes life into our daily routines. Thank you for helping us find the positive in every situation. This has led you to developing new friendships and a newfound confidence. I can't wait to hear about your continued success in 4th grade and beyond. Way to go, John Marie. Parker, you are receiving our basal ganglia award. The basal ganglia is the area of the brain that helps us move as well as express our personalities. Your love for the outdoors and your brave, thrill-seeking personality takes you on impressive adventures. Mountain biking, skiing, dirt biking, wakeboarding, and more. This year, you've harnessed that courage to become a valued member of our community. Despite some understandable hesitation as a new student, you persevered past that to make new friends, build new relationships, try new things, and learn so much about yourself and the world around you. I'm very excited to see where that new courage takes you next year. Way to go, Parker.
short. Mateo, you are receiving our parietal lobe award. The parietal lobe is the computation center of the brain, where we process numbers as well as new information from our five senses. Mateo, the way you seek out new information, new opportunities, and new ideas is inspiring and contagious. Thank you for being a dedicated learner who strives to produce the best work in every single assignment. We see this in your eagerness to write new stories, your dedication to understanding new formulas, and your insistence on finishing just one more problem after our timer goes off. Thank you for always trying your best and pushing above and beyond the expectations. This will take you far in 4th grade and beyond. Congratulations, Mateo. You are receiving our corpus callosum award. The corpus callosum is the connecting tissue between the two hemispheres of the brain and allows for communication between all cortexes. This award represents your willingness to communicate with others and your eagerness to learn and understand the world around you. You are a caring and considerate friend who, like the corpus callosum, has worked to bring our classroom together. You have done this by actively seeking out ways to connect with others, our classroom, and our school, most notably with our farmhouse friends, and our world. We will look forward to seeing the connections you make in 4th grade and beyond. Congratulations, Anna. Sophie, you are receiving our Vernix Area Award. Vernix area is the small section of the brain that processes verbal information and is often called the listening center of the brain. Sophie, you are truly the listening center of our classroom. You are always a thoughtful listener to both your peers and teachers alike, so much so that we often rely on your help to repeat the directions or remind me if I have forgotten a step in our routine. Not only are you a great listener, but then once heard, you try your hardest to follow the directions as thoughtfully as possible and to the best of your ability. This will take you so far in 4th grade and your future. Congratulations, Sophie. Vivian, you are receiving our Task Positive Network Award. This is the network of connections in your brain that are firing when you're focused on a singular task. Your strong desire to acquire new knowledge and complete tasks to the best of your ability has led you to have an extremely successful year in 3rd grade. You have a laser-like focus, and you aim that unwavering focus at any unknown skill or knowledge in your way. You have made tremendous growth across all areas academically, socially, and emotionally. Thank you for your extreme focus and determination when working to reach your next goal. This grit and perseverance is inspiring and will take you far in 4th grade and beyond. Congratulations, Vivian. Thank you. One more round of applause for 3rd grade. Will Ms. Conlon's 4th grade class please join me on stage? Good morning. This spring, our 4th grade students embarked on an exploration of the incredible national parks across our country. Each student chose a park to research, resulting in a variety of creative projects in the In library, they created informational guides using Book Creator. In art class, they drew detailed illustrations. In science, they designed 3D models using Tinkercad. And in language arts, they wrote journal entries detailing a fictional trip to their park. Given their hard work this spring, I will present each 4th grade SBP student with a certificate of achievement that is based on the theme of national parks. Ellie, your determination and growth mindset when facing challenges remind me of Death Valley, where beauty and resilience flourish in the harshest conditions, proving that strength and adaptability can create something truly remarkable. Whether you're singing at all school meeting or leading our 4th grade takeover, you do it with confidence and poise.
Your creativity and organizational skills keep our classroom in top shape, and your kindness makes everyone feel valued and welcome. You have a special gift for bringing people together and creating a sense of community wherever you go. Ellie, I know that your big heart and commitment to hard work will serve you well in 5th grade. Max, it's been wonderful to see you build confidence as a learner and a friend, much like the steady peaks of Acadia National Park, rising above the landscape. In the classroom, I've watched you step outside your comfort zone, especially in math and literacy. It's fantastic to see your huge smile and how proud you are when you take risks. You are kind and inclusive, making you a trusted friend. During recess, you often play baseball or basketball with determination and enthusiasm. You'd make the perfect hiking buddy at Acadia, not only for your athletic nature and adventurous spirit, but also for your ability to ensure everyone feels welcome, and for making sure we have plenty of snacks. Congratulations on all you've accomplished this year, Max. Cam, much like the welcoming shores of Dry Tortuga National Park, your warmth and sincerity make you a friend to everyone. You approach every situation with a glass half full mindset, always seeing the best in everything. Just like the resilient sea turtles in the park, you tackle each challenge with determination, never letting obstacles stop you. This is especially true in your love of math, where you not only excel, but also help your classmates see themselves as capable mathematicians. Kim, you brought so much joy to our classroom this past year, and I look forward to hearing about all the incredible adventures that await you in 5th grade. Kendall, much like Canyonlands National Park, you bring warmth and energy wherever you go. Your laughter fills the classroom, creating an atmosphere as vibrant as the park's deep canyons. Whether in math or literacy, your focus and work ethic help you achieve your goals without losing your playful side. When you were told this past winter to stay inactive to let your knee heal, you kept a positive attitude and handled the challenge with grace. Your support for a classmate in a similar situation showed your big heart and compassion, proving why you were such a treasured friend. Kendall, I know your kind heart and hardworking attitude will carry you far into 5th grade and beyond. Caroline, you're like the gentle, deep blue waters of Crater Lake National Park, radiating in a kindness that comforts those around you. Your caring nature is evident in your efforts to include others in what you do. Your hard work mirrors the resilience of the volcano that formed the lake, showing your ability to overcome challenges. The progress you've made in your decoding skills is a testament to your dedication, and it's a joy to watch you confidently tackle multiplication problems in math. Your creativity shines whether you're drawing in the classroom or in art class, showcasing your passion for artistic expression. Caroline, your perseverance will carry you far into 5th grade and beyond. Evie, you're as vibrant and inspiring as Mount Rainier National Park. Just as the park features breathtaking landscapes ranging from forests to towering peaks, you're a remarkable blend of creativity and curiosity. Ms. Swallow has remarked on your ability to navigate complex math problems from angles she hadn't considered. Your thoughtful questions during morning meeting and class discussions spark interest and engage others. Your positivity and warmth foster a strong sense of community in the classroom. Even when times get tough, you remain flexible and optimistic, bringing a calming presence to those around you. Evie, when your caring nature and strong work habits, you are set to achieve amazing things in 5th grade. Patrick, when you approach your schoolwork with a growth mindset, you tackle challenges with determination, much like a glacier carving through the rugged terrain of Glacier Bay National Park. When the Tinkered CAD program clicked with you, you eagerly showed me your progress with confidence and pride. You had the biggest smile on your face, which brought me so much joy. In the classroom, you are always willing to lend a helping hand, most recently taking to cleaning untouched corners of our classroom during dismissal. Patrick, you are kind, and I know you care deeply about the people in your life. Your compassionate nature was evident on Grandfriends Day when you took such care to ensure your grandmother was comfortable, showing a heart as big as the park's glaciers. I look forward to seeing all that you accomplish in 5th grade. Sigh. Much like the stalactites that form patiently over time within the depths of Mammoth Cave, your positivity and curiosity inspire those around you. Your easygoing demeanor and lighthearted outlook exude kindness wherever you go, making you a cherished friend. Whether it's showcasing a trick to the math class or sharing fascinating facts during morning meeting, you always find a way to brighten our day. It's truly remarkable how quickly you can solve a Rubik's Cube. It's similar to navigating the intricate passages of Mammoth Cave, showcasing your patience, persistence, and creative problem-solving approach. These qualities shine through in our daily lessons and discussions, enriching our perspectives and expanding our understanding. I can't wait to hear what 5th grade has in store for you. Thank you for being a great year. One more round of applause for 1st grade. Will 5th grade, Mrs. Landra's class, please join me on stage.
It has been a pleasure to work with this 5th grade class. I've known this group well for the last 3 years. As a class, this group is known to be bonded by friendship. They truly care for each other and help each other. This year, we have spent a lot of time talking about what it means to be a good friend. As a group, we have concluded that being a good friend encompasses a variety of qualities and actions that contribute to a strong and supportive relationship. We have decided a good friend has these qualities: trustworthiness, respect, support, honesty, loyalty, fun, non-judgmental, accepting, and good communication. Overall, being a good friend involves showing care, respect, and support, while also enjoying each other's company and building a strong bond based on trust and understanding. Nicholas Shagnon. Nikki, you are a friend that embodies the qualities of kindness, positivity, loyalty, inclusiveness, and compassion. You enter your school day smiling and full of positivity. You have a knack for finding humor in the mundane things. As a friend, you listen with genuine interest and offer unwavering support, making you incredibly easy to talk to. Nikki, you are the kind of friend who makes a day brighter. Thank you for being a friend to our class. Griffin, you are a friend that embodies the qualities of trustworthiness, humor, encouragement, inclusivity, and kindness. You are a bundle of contagious energy, making even gloomy days a little lighter. As a friend, you have a genuine kindness and caring nature that your friends appreciate, especially when you check in on them, making sure they are feeling good. You have a way of making sure everyone feels included and valued. Every one of your friends will say that you are trustworthy to the core. Thank you for being a friend to our class. Emerson Brammer. Emerson, you are a friend that embodies the qualities of loyalty, positivity, attentiveness, inclusivity, and kindness. As a friend, you are a constant source of support, even just by listening to your friends. You are always ensuring that everyone feels welcomed and valued. Emerson, you have incredible intuition, knowing when to step in and help a friend to understand things. Your kindness knows no bounds when it comes to sharing materials or ideas with your friends. Thank you for being a friend to our class. Callan Landreth. Callan, you are a friend that embodies the qualities of being trustworthy, positive, attentive, energetic, and thoughtful. As a friend, you have an infectious energy that uplifts those around you. Friends can rely on you to be trustworthy and incredibly attentive to what is going on with your friends. You're an example of kindness, positivity, and integrity. Thank you for being a friend to our class and sharing this year with me. Edmund Larissa. Edmund, you are a friend that embodies the qualities of being loyal, positive, encouraging, caring, and kind. As a friend, you show your loyalty to your friends on a daily basis as you are there for them. You have an infectious laugh that gets everyone going. Edmund, the place I see you shine is on the basketball court. You are a beacon of positivity, boosting morale and motivating others to believe in themselves even when they are not confident. Thank you for being a friend to our class. Gray Mahoney. Gray, you are a friend that embodies the qualities of dependability, positivity, trustworthiness, and kindness. You are a friend that others can count on to help keep things organized and running smoothly. Your smile is infectious, and your quick wit helps keep our class joyful and lively. Gray, you are genuinely caring, always looking out for your friends, and doing whatever it takes to make them happy. Thank you for being a friend to our class. Addison Nato. Addison, you are a friend that embodies the qualities of trustworthiness, generosity, attentiveness, inclusivity, and kindness. When a friend is in need, you are there with open arms, ready to offer support and guidance. You are someone your classmates can talk to that genuinely cares for their well-being. As a true friend, you make others feel valued and appreciated. Thank you for being a friend. Jack Pyers. Jack, you are a friend that embodies the qualities of supportiveness, humor, attentiveness, inclusivity, and kindness. Your sense of humor is sharp and on point. You are a solid friend that is always there when you are needed, offering support and helpful advice. Every friend says that you are someone they feel they can talk to for hours and feel like they are in a joy-free zone as you listen to them. Jack, you make your friends and my day a whole lot brighter. Thank you for being a friend to our class.
One more round of applause for our fifth graders. And now we will have Mrs. Palmer in sixth grade join us on stage.
Good morning. Sixth grade is the year to gain independence, your freedom, and to find out who you are and who you want to be, your identity. In September, we began a journey together, finding our way and living as a community of learners, our very own free water. Just like the characters and community in our novel, Free Water, by Amina Lukman-Dawson this term, each day we have been working together to share a common goal of turning over a new leaf in our learning. We have discovered that characters are complicated, just like us, and that they are more than one way, also just like us. While the members of the Free Water community select new names and swamp calls to mark their freedom, we are content in knowing that the Sally Borden program is designed to give you everything you need for the freedom to learn in a way that best serves you. I have reflected on the growth of each of you this year and have chosen a character who embodies your essence. Liliana Aguiar. Liliana, like Nora, I have found you to be highly observant and quiet in nature. You notice the small details and have shown your interest in our subject matter through your expressions and aha moments. I love how you have embraced a love of reading, stepping into your character's shoes, and understanding that just like them, we can have more than one side. The side I see more frequently is your quest for wanting to do the right thing to keep the peace. Thank you for being a faithful friend to your classmates, offering sincere words of encouragement with a smile. Hannah Beauregard. Hannah, like Juna, I have found you to be a creative soul who makes everything around you beautiful. While you prefer to stay behind the scenes, you lead quietly and powerfully by example, respecting others and the earth. I love how you are able to embrace the challenges of learning with a soft giggle and a penciled sketch. Take pride in your dedication to completing tasks with intention and perseverance, and know that you rocked the tracking of characters and changing settings in free water. Thank you for being a loyal friend to the classmates in our learning community. Nolan Booth. Nolan, like Ferdinand, I have found you to be very aware of your surroundings, having your materials nearby at all times. You appreciate your newfound freedom here at Friends, making the transition from a public to an independent school setting seem like a piece of cake. Like Ferdinand, your goofy antics are simply a mask for the passionate, sensitive human living under the surface. You are quick on your feet, always listening with at least one ear, and ready to negotiate the terms of any task. Thank you for being a fierce friend and for providing comic relief to our learning community at mostly opportune times. Henry Cronin. Henry, like Suleiman, I have found you to be a gentle giant with a great presence. While you may be a young man of few words in the classroom, you have garnered the respect of classmates old and new and have emerged as a leader. As Suleiman protects the free water community, I notice you guarding your classroom squad and leading by example, especially with your increased writing stamina. I learned early on that you hold tight to your convictions and do not hesitate to speak up on behalf of a friend, especially if you feel that friend has been wronged. Thank you for your dry humor with catchphrases centered on all things monkey and mean. We can always count on you with a zinger to lighten the mood. Landon Pereira. Landon, like Billy, I have found you to be highly observant, keeping tabs on the goings-on in and out of the classroom. While you may question your abilities, in time you find that you are highly capable of doing anything you put your mind to. Billy was often the go-to guy for anything related to numbers, and I know that math is your jam. You know right from wrong, and you are a loyal friend to those lucky to be included in your circle. Thank you for sharing your love of history and gaming with our community. John Perry. John, like Homer, I have found you to be brave, joining Friends Academy this year and not knowing anyone at the start. You have shown a willingness to try new things, from the increased demands in the classroom to the time spent outdoors as part of the whole experience here on campus. I have observed you to be more willing to take risks as you test boundaries and your own abilities. I love that you have expanded your reading to include your passion, sports history, and have learned a lot from your journal entries. Thank you for bringing your best to our learning community and helping to set the bar high for your peers. Princeton Roberts. Princeton, like David, I have found you to be kind and sweet right down to your core. You have watchful eyes and notice more than you let on most of the time. I have observed your keen sense of fairness and your willingness to stand by your friends through thick and thin. When you connect with the story's characters, you light up both physically and mentally because you love a good story and are incredibly skilled at pulling out life lessons and larger themes woven throughout. Thank you for being an empathetic member of our learning community. Sam Welchman. Sam. Like Turner, aka Two Shoes, your love of family and all things Canadian shines through all that you do. While you prefer to work independently toward a goal, your competitive nature affords you the opportunity to contribute to team sports in profound ways, especially in lacrosse. I have observed you to lobby for what you feel is right, leaving your feelings anything but secretive. It has been heartwarming to watch you emerge as a leader, showing a softer, big brother side, especially to the little farmhouse kids. Thank you for being comfortable enough in our learning community to show your true colors in our classroom throughout the year. Sixth grade, thank you.
One more round of applause. And if I could have 7th grade and Miss Costa join me on stage. This year in 7th grade, we spent our time learning about the world through the Grapes of Civilization's lens. GRAPES is an acronym that stands for each element that every civilization possesses: geography, religion, achievements, politics, economy, and social structures. Like each civilization uses the GRAPES acronym to break down the main elements to properly function, I thought about an acronym to use to showcase the elements a classroom needs to develop a community of thriving students. I landed on the word success. The success of a classroom needs the following factors for students to reach their full potential: self-discovery, unity, curiosity, communication, empathy, support, and school spirit. While all of these qualities are represented day to day in each member of our class, there are certain aspects that stand out just a little bit more than the rest. Jules, you showcase the element of self-discovery. Since day one of school, you advocated for yourself in the Sally Borden program, showing that you know exactly what you need to succeed as a lifelong learner. In addition to this, you proceeded to bounce back after absences, finding ways to self-motivate and stay on track. In your journey through 7th grade, you have navigated so many experiences, and as an onlooker, I have watched you come out on the other end with a gained sense of who you are every time. Your resilience is a quality that will get you through any peak or valley you find yourself in as you continue navigating your middle school experience. Thank you for showing us that learning about ourselves is just as important as learning about the world around us. I can't wait to see what mountains you conquer as you go into 8th grade. Beckett. Representing unity, you are the calm amidst the chaos that tends to happen in a middle school classroom. Since your first day of 7th grade, I noticed that you have a way about you that brings others around you together. Your ability to work well with peers, wrangle the group to focus and actually have them listen, and truly treat everyone with the same level of respect shows that you have wonderful leadership qualities. Your sense of humor diffuses any situation, and you somehow find ways to keep the group having fun while still staying engaged on the topic. One example I'd like to share is when you went above and beyond for our Grapes project and started taking orders for your exported goods in Beckland. This got others more invested in their projects, and they started working together to trade goods as well. Thank you for being a constant example that working together rather than against each other is always a lot more fun. Has anyone ever thought about the fact that you will never stand backwards on a staircase? Well, if you're in SBP 7, you probably have. Bobby, you are without a doubt the element of curiosity in our classroom. You are always exploring the world around you by asking questions and getting others to join you by problem solving to find the answers. Curiosity is the fuel that drives critical thinking, and you are operating with a full tank of gas. You inspired our classroom to start our word of the day, where we were constantly learning the meaning of new words, and you continue to respectfully challenge others' thoughts and ideas in class by asking deeper questions. This curiosity will continue to serve you well as you move through your journey as a lifelong learner. And I thank you for not only encouraging others to think outside the box, but for inviting me into your world of inquisitiveness as well. Dougie, the element of communication is what comes to mind when I think of you. You are a social butterfly who can communicate with anyone, anytime, anywhere. You make it a point to reach out to others, and you are always willing to be there when others need to talk as well. This year, we had many opportunities to work with others, such as our 5th grade crossover for poetry and our 7-8 class where you developed a new product. In all of these scenarios, you were confident in yourself and had the ability to work well together with new people. This is a skill that is so incredibly important in life. Communication is key, and the ability to not only talk, but listen to others is crucial in navigating the world. Your capability to invite others in, listen to their ideas, and proudly share your own will lead you to a world full of opportunities and solid relationships as you continue your learning journey and beyond. Zuri, while you needed time to warm up and come out of your shell at a new school, I could see from day one that you held a lot of empathy for others. Although you were quiet and tended to stay on the outskirts of the classroom, I noticed you taking in every detail and really listening and learning about your classmates. One of my favorite moments this year was when you opened up with the group during an I Am Malala literature circle and shared a vulnerable story about yourself. Throughout the year, you have been consistent in being kind to others, helpful to those around you in the community, and even checked in on me to see how I was doing on a regular basis. Having empathy enables us to build social connections, and feeling connected to others is hugely important for our optimal well-being. As you continue your learning journey at Friends, I look forward to watching you blossom and lead by example in what it means to be a good friend. Finn, you have been an incredible support system this year to all of your classmates, whether it was including others during group activities, helping peers with their writing assignments, or catching them up on something they missed while they were absent. You were a constant that everyone could come to, knowing that they could ask for help without judgment, and you helped others feel accepted for who they are while respecting differences in others' opinions. Your positive attitude guided others along the way, and you have always been there cheering everyone on, whether it was with words of encouragement or a gentle push in the right direction. Thank you for setting the bar high and showing others how being supportive benefits everyone involved and allows others to be their true selves without fear. Last, but certainly not least, Landon. You embody the essence of school spirit. You persevere during challenging projects, you take pride in your work, you're not afraid to take risks, and you participate in our fun-themed school days. All of these examples are important because it shows that you can have fun while still working hard. A funny memory that I will always remember is when you learned that timed toast was in fact not a credible source. We all had a laugh, it turned into an inside joke, and you used that lesson to work even harder during the next project. Your positive spirit showed others that you can tackle a challenge and come out even better on the other side of it. Thank you for showing us that school can be a fun place, mistakes are how we learn, and how having school spirit brings us together as a community. Congratulations to all of our students. We will now hear from our 8th graders as they present their own speeches. These students have diligently crafted essays that highlight what they've learned about themselves in their time at Friends Academy. This has been our tradition for the past 3 years, and this stellar group of students has definitely been the most empowered and enthusiastic group to share yet. I couldn't be more proud of them, and I think you will most certainly be moved by their authentic reflections. Please join me in welcoming Retief to the stage.
I probably hadn't registered just how nervous I felt then. All I knew was that this was not the McDonald's my parents had promised to bring. I remembered meeting some kids I'd never seen before. They seemed nervous too, and somehow that made me feel better because I could relate to them. But who knew that some of these new classmates would become lifelong friends? As we came to 3rd grade, I entered the Sally Borden program to help me with my math. In 6th grade, I was in traditional classes, except for math. At first, I was very nervous because I wasn't used to the faster pace and expectations that I worked independently. I was failing my classes because I was very overwhelmed by all the work I was given. However, eventually I overcame these struggles and became more confident in my work. I overcame these struggles by seeing teachers for extra help and dedicating time at home to work on my assignments. I told myself that I have to get my work done by myself, no other exceptions. Another thing that I thought I would be very nervous about was the day of graduation from Friends Academy. I thought it would almost never arrive. However, it came incredibly fast after 5th grade. I thought I would be very nervous and scared. However, now that I'm here at the end of the year, I want to say something to you all. It's good to have some changes and to hold on to the old memories while welcoming the new ones.
Good afternoon, Friends Academy. My name is Heather Cerise. When I first started Friends Academy, I was flabbergasted of how wonderful the school was. Friends Academy was a beacon of light that I thought never existed, but my journey didn't start here. Before I came to Friends Academy, the light was not always there. I struggled a lot in my old school as I have dyslexia. Dyslexia is a learning difference where reading and writing is a struggle. All my life, I felt like I was climbing a mountain, but as I was climbing the mountain, it felt like a rope was pulling me down. Whenever I thought I got something, the rope would just pull me down again and again and again and again. Some days it felt like I got it, but others it felt like I was going in circles. Teachers would yell at me as they would not understand how I learned, and frankly, neither did I. I thought I was stupid, just stupid. I would get yelled at for asking too many questions, and when I didn't ask questions because I was scared to get yelled at, my teachers would get mad at me and say, why didn't I ask for help? It felt like a black hole was drowning me in complete darkness, like the world was against me. This led me to be very quiet and fall behind a lot. Everyone would be at a 6th grade reading level, and I would be at a 4th grade reading level or lower. It was hard to talk to people because I would mix up my words and then I would get frustrated. But then I got the news I was coming to Friends Academy. I was excited and scared. I was excited because I would finally be understood and I would finally get the help I needed. But I was also scared because I did not want to lose my friends. However, when 7th grade came rolling around, there was a beautiful light showing a path to Friends Academy. SBP was the program I And the second I walked into that room, I knew I found my place. It felt like a weight was lifted off my shoulders. I remember when I visited the school when I was so scared and so nervous. The thoughts of what if they don't like me and what if they don't help me went through my head. And oh boy, was I wrong. When I walked into the room, everyone took me in and treated me like I've been there for years. The fears of nervousness turned into, oh heck yeah, and I finally found my people. SBP has always been a happy place for me. From laughing with one of my best friends to always having a smile on my face, SBP has helped me finally understand how I learn. I have so much help from so many teachers. I will never forget my first teacher I had at Friends Academy, Miss Costa. She was the first teacher that gave me a new perspective on learning. For the first time, I loved school. For the first time, I liked to read. And I hated reading, like with a passion. Like I would do anything to get out of reading. Like anything. She helped me to believe that reading is fun and you just have to find the right book. She taught me how to sound out my words and gave me tools that I needed. Thank you, Miss Costa, for helping me find the joy in learning. I also like to thank Miss B. I had Miss B this year. She helped me a lot. Just like Miss Costa, she helped me love school. Miss B pushed me to become the best I could be. And now I can read at a 10th grade reading level with support. And I started at a 4th grade reading level. Miss B helped me so much. She was always there for me, and she made me have the confidence that I needed. Thank you, Miss B. I'm finally proud of myself. The last teacher I'd like to thank is my tutor, Terry. Terry was the first teacher who actually helped me instead of yelling at me. I have known Terry since I was in 2nd grade. She was the first person who told me I wasn't stupid. She has been with me, backing me up every step of the way. Thank you, Terry, for believing in me and for being one of the first people to think I wasn't stupid. I would like to thank one more person, my mother. She has been my voice when I didn't have one. She has been the light when I was in the dark. She fought for my education when I couldn't. I'm so thankful to have such an amazing mother. Thank you, Mom, for always being my light and for always being my voice. I have received so much help from so many amazing people. I will never forget Friends Academy and the funny, happy, and sad moments I had here. Friends Academy will always have a special place in my heart. I'm so happy to be graduating from such an amazing school. Before I go, I'd like to leave you with a modified version of my joke. What do you call a potato? A potato. That's a knee slapper right there. Anyways, thank you for listening to my TED Talk.
Please join us on stage. Good morning. I have always felt different from most people. I felt like that my whole life, and I did not know why. Bless you. It was just because I was older than most of my classmates. But it was because of something you can't see. I have learning differences. I remember the first time my friends had to tell me I was spelling a word wrong was in 2nd grade. I was writing a note to someone saying we don't want to play horse anymore, but I said we don't want to play house anymore. One of my friends had to tell me I spelled house instead of horse. I didn't really think of it when it happened because I was in 2nd grade, so it wasn't a big deal. However, my spelling just got worse over time. By the time I was in 3rd grade, my teacher had to make my spelling list shorter. I think it helped in the beginning, but but when I was in 5th grade, after we got back from COVID, I could see myself struggling and spelling again. My parents decided to take me to go get testing, and and we later found out I had dyslexia, dysgraphia, and ADHD. After I found out, I was happy to understand what was going on with me, but I also thought I was going to be dumb for the rest of my life. I began tutoring with my teacher, and it helped for a little, but I was still having a hard time. The next year, I came to Friends Academy and joined a class with kids similar to me. I felt like I wasn't different anymore. I found comfort being around people who had learning struggles like me. Being with my peers has taught me many lessons while friends. Some things I have learned is how to focus on something when I'm surrounded by distractions. Listening to music helps me stay on target and be productive. Having a chance to use a fidget also helps me while I'm with focusing when I am stressed. The play type is my favorite. I also discovered that not every person with learning differences is the same, and that even though they struggle in reading and writing, they are better at something else. For example, I am better at writing stories than reading out loud. After years of struggling and spelling and reading out loud, without knowing what the problem was, I started to think how I can get over these struggles. Now, a couple of years later, I know now how to get over my struggles. It has taken me years to get over them, and they are not gone. They will come back to get me, like when I can't spell tomorrow. I still know how to. But I know that I can get help from my teachers, my friends, and my family. Thank you for listening to my speech. Jake Hollister, please join us on stage.
Yeah, Jake.
Good morning, I'm Jake. I have dyslexia and ADHD. I'm an athlete, a leader, an actor, a singer, a brother, a friend, a son, a teammate, but in the middle of everything, I'm a student. And this school is everything to the student. It's where I've spent almost every day the past 6 years. It's where I've learned, where I've made friends, where I've been a part of teams and casts, and I would say my time here has been pretty fertile. But I would never be where I am today if it wasn't for my parents, FA, and the SBP program. When I came here, I could barely read. I was a short, skinny 9-year-old with short hair and glasses that would refuse to wear anything but camo. Clearly, times have changed. But he had also just been told that he had something called dyslexia. As a kid, you have so many questions and assumptions like, what does that mean? It's never going to go away? Why am I going to a new school? Will I ever read? But my parents made sure it wasn't a bad thing, and that in the bad there's always good. On my first day at school at FA, I very clearly remember the old musty smell and the loud creaky floorboards of the upstairs third grade rooms. I also remember making new friends, adjusting to a smaller school, constantly learning and doing all the different learning programs I didn't want to, like the super tedious read naturally and frustrating IXL and way too much Lexia. And well, I didn't realize it at the time, but I was starting a new chapter in my life. And at my first one of these ceremonies, I remember thinking, man, those kids are so big. It's going to be so long till I get to do that. But here I am. Now I'm standing up here, reading off this paper that I wrote and giving this speech. And the even crazier thing is, in a few days, I'm going to walk outside right over there, and I'm going to ring that big brass bell. And this whole journey, this whole adventure, this whole chapter in my life is going to be over, just like that. And I don't think little Jake would recognize this place today. Like, where did that big tree go? What happened to Stites? Who's that funky-looking guy called Tim? But I've learned a lot here, thanks to the support and experiences we were given that push us out of our comfort zone. For example, Chwonky, the 8th grade trip. When we went, I had the worst anxiety and didn't want to go. But on the second day, after a much-needed night of sleep, we had a 3-hour canoe ride. And about 15 minutes after we pushed off the shore, it started to downpour. But despite the wire spout shooting off the brim of my hat, the cold rain falling into the boat, getting my feet wet and cold, making my water shoes squeaky against the boat, is one of the highlights of the trip for me, because it was the moment where a bit of adrenaline hit me. We were all screaming at each other and laughing with each other, and the first moment where my anxiety stopped, I was calm, and I could think straight. It was like the rain washed everything away and gave me a much-needed reset. And before I knew it, I was having fun with my friends. Another experience that I've loved being a part of are the musicals. Last year, I was Michael and Mary Poppins. It was my first lead, and the only thing I heard at night when I couldn't sleep was, what if I mess up? Over and over and over again. But looking back on it, I'm glad I did, because it gave me the opportunity to use it as motivation to practice, 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 over and over and over again. It wasn't going away, so I used it as a tool. And when I finally get up on stage, I almost feel at ease, but it's thrilling and unlike anything else you can experience. Then you feel the warmth of the spotlight and all the eyes on you. It's heavy, but a good heavy. Everyone is there to see you, but you're not you, you're the character. You're Michael or Kristoff. And in the end, I didn't mess up. Another thing I didn't think I could do is read the way I do now. In literacy, we've been reading passages that were written for sophomores and juniors to push us out of our comfort zone. And when I first heard about it, I didn't think it was going to go very well. I was kind of shocked. You don't usually hear of a dyslexic kid being pushed 4 years ahead of their reading level. And I've definitely never heard of that kid succeeding. But despite the fact, each week we would start a new passage. First class cold read, second class was considered the practice, and third class was the hot read. And in the end, I surprised myself. With everyone we've read, I've been on grade level and had almost 100% accuracy every time. And I'll tell you, that's something I never even thought about. And I would never have been able to do that if it wasn't for all the work that seemed really tedious and annoying and exhausting in the moment. But I've really seen it come full circle. It's all paid off in the long run. And I really think the school has set me up for success, the future, and has helped me excel for something that I assumed I was set up to fail in. And there's so many more opportunities we get here, like the rock wall and challenge course, to have people come and speak to us, to sports teams and class trips. And it's because of these, I encourage the younger students here to see these opportunities and take the chances. Because in the long run, the memories you make and the lessons you learn will pay off. But to end things off, there's 5 things that I've learned in this chapter of my life that I always keep in mind and wanted to share. First, hard work and doing things you don't want to better yourself always pay off, like the IXL Read Naturally in Lexia. Second, everything happens for a reason. Trust the process. The big man upstairs has a plan. Third, respect isn't given, it's earned. Always push to earn respect. Fourth, you can learn something from everyone, teachers or anyone you meet. And fifth, in every bad thing, there's always good. Focus on the good and use it. Like dyslexia. We might not be able to read as well as everyone else, but every neurodivergent kid here has something they are so much better at than every normal person. So remember, when someone comes into your life, they're there for a reason. So listen, so trust the process, listen, work hard, and focus on the good. I guarantee you that you will learn something, you'll gain people's respect, learn something, and better yourself. Thank you.
Will Leo join us up on stage?
Is it? I don't know. All right. Hi. So I joined the Friends Academy SBP program in 3rd grade. Before that, I was at a different school, obviously. At my previous school, I was an outcast and often in the middle of disagreements between my 2 friends because we really didn't know how to be a trio. I was excluded from a lot of things because the other kids did with each other because I have ADHD and dyslexia. At the time, I wasn't diagnosed with either, and so I was seen as the odd one out. Kids are mean. I was mean. I was mean because I was a kid. I was mean because I wasn't given the resources on how to deal with my ADHD at home. I was mean because I wasn't given a good example of how to deal with my emotions. I was a tough kid. I also apparently have to cough a lot right now, just now. When I came to Friends Academy with my bad haircut and new ADHD medication and coming from being the odd one out, it was a very emotional time that I don't remember. Still, I had one friend who was my buddy, who showed me around and made things much better. Fast forward to summer after 5th grade, I lost 2 friends. Guys, they didn't die. They're fine. They're fine. I went to 6th grade with almost no friends, but there were 2 people, Nora and Luella, that I wasn't the closest with then, but they ended up being there for me. We grew closer over the year. Their friendship
made me feel much better and was a big stress relief. I didn't have a lot of confidence in 6th grade, but I got by. Fast forward to 7th grade. Nothing really happened in the beginning, except that I can't tell if my hair got better or worse than 6th grade, and I had the worst style ever. Anyway, I started growing out my hair. In 7th grade, I met someone new, my new friend. We instantly clicked and became friends, as I said before, immediately. This person was really nice and funny and all that. In 8th grade, I had much better hair, and I moved out of the SBP program for the majority of my classes except for math. It was a stressful summer before 8th grade because I just had to sit and think about how I'm going to be moving into a new class of people I wasn't close with and barely knew. They also told me about moving into the new classes on the last day of school, which was great for me. When I got to the first day of 8th grade, it was already chaotic because the site's renovation wasn't done, which honestly I was very grateful for because I wasn't the only one who was confused on where to go and everyone learned together. During 8th grade, things were very easy for me and I had good grades. And I was getting along with people well. I had a lot of growth throughout the year because I learned how to better manage my emotions and not let things bother me so much. I also gained a lot of confidence in who I am. I'm very grateful for my middle school experience, the bad looks, the bad moments, and the good ones too. I want to leave you with this message. Don't let the opinions of other people who you don't know affect your opinion of yourself. Thank you.
Sylvia.
Morning, y'all. My name's Kat Sylvia. Hi. I have seen my family's life change in so many ways, waiting for mine too, but I never noticed my growth throughout the years. I was that one kid in class that often had no idea what was going on. I know I was different from the other kids, but I didn't know how. I just thought it was stupid. I had so much negative talk about myself. If I had homework after school, I would just look at the paper and tell myself that I couldn't do it, because it always got to my head when somebody called me dumb. My parents noticed this, so my mom and dad took me in for testing when I was 8 years old, and results came back. So it turns out I'm dyslexic. And at that point, I thought I was going to be permanently stupid. I'm the only one who's dyslexic in the family. I felt different from everybody else. My brother was sporty like my dad, and my sister was intelligent like my mom. I didn't feel like any of that when I grew growing up. I was a dramatic kid that was curious about how they made chips so thin. I felt like I didn't fit in. Nobody in my family understood what I saw and how I felt. I felt lonely all the time, knowing that nobody in my life could understand. For the rest of elementary school, I just had to deal with not getting the help that I was supposed to have. But then I went to my former middle school, and there was a teacher that was supposed to help, but I didn't see much difference in my reading. I was always stressed out, but I didn't know how to deal with it. So I was taken out and I was put in this school. I was upset at first because I grew up with a lot of those kids, and I was put in a school where the only person I knew was a 3rd grade teacher. I was so scared, but honestly, all the kids made me feel included immediately. When I went to FA, I was put in a class of 6 kids in a grade of 28. At my old school, there were 28 kids in one class. 6th grade was weird for me. I was learning stuff I already learned, but in a different process, like my teacher went step by step. I felt like the year was going to be a breeze, so I stopped listening in class. One day, we were learning about World War I for 2 hours, and at the end of class, my teacher asked if we had any questions, and the room went silent. I raised my hand and asked, "How did the war start?" My teacher looked me in the eye, and my classmates screamed, "F, F, she gets an F." At that point, I realized I didn't know everything. I felt dumb. I promised myself that I would be better in 7th grade. We got a new teacher and 2 new kids in the SBP for 7th grade. I came off as a kid that did not believe in herself. I had a negative mindset. I told my teacher I sucked at everything and I couldn't do anything in class. My teacher told me that she would help me out of that. I didn't believe her. I've been like that my whole life. I was used to that feeling. I thought I was stuck like that. I didn't know what I liked. I didn't read because it was hard. I didn't write because I thought I couldn't. We had a music project, and at the end of the year, we had to write poems. I wrote mine immediately about my sister. My music teacher loved it, so I wrote it in front of the whole school. And at that point, that was a big accomplishment. I didn't think it was until Mr. Wills told me that he was proud of me. In 6th grade, I couldn't even talk to him, and now I'm talking in front of the whole school. I realized that my 7th grade teacher, Ms. Costa, gave me the confidence that I've been needing this whole time. I took my love for writing and speaking into 8th grade. I remember the 3rd day of school, we went to the Quaker house. We had to sit in silence unless somebody wanted to say something. My teacher, Mrs. B, stood up and talked about how she knew that she needed to come here. And I was convinced that I should say something. A couple more minutes of silence went by. The head of middle school stood up and was about to head us out of there. I stood up and told people that it's okay to dream, and there is going to be something or someone telling you not to go after it. There are going to be things in the way, but everyone can make it, just like I did. And at that moment, I realized that my dream was not to be the dumb kid, but to get help and be proud of myself. And I did it. When I got here, I am proud of myself. But it wasn't just me that got myself there. Ms. Costa got me in that mindset. One of my friends told me quotes every day that boosted my energy. My best friend pushed me in my worst times. She made me happy just seeing her smile. But this whole thing wouldn't have happened if my mom didn't see my stress. I'm so thankful to have her in my life. I know you probably think that I'm just saying this because she's my mom, but it's true. She's the definition of perfect. People have told me that perfect isn't a thing. Well, I think otherwise. She's gone through so much. She's a single mother of 3, works non-stop, just so my sister can go to school in Scotland, so my brother can go to college, and so I can get the help that I've been needing for a long time. I don't even know how to say thank you. She's my hero, my world, my life, and I couldn't be any luckier. After a true roller coaster of school, I am now prepared to leave and go on the next ride. Now someone else can take my seat. I learned so much and there is so much more to learn. I know I'm ready and that's all that matters. In the beginning of school, the head of middle school said that he just wants one person to come out of this year saying that it was the best year ever. And I'm here to say that to you today for the last time.
Please join us on stage.
Diagnosis of dyslexia and specific writing disorder. What this means is that I have trouble with reading and writing, mostly writing. The brain is like a machine, and like any machine, all parts need to be in working order for the machine to function. When someone has a language-based learning difference, there are some parts that work exceptionally well. For example, my brain recognizes patterns pretty well. And a dyslexic brain is similar to like an engine with a cylinder that isn't firing. It becomes unbalanced and can't reach its potential. Although a cylinder isn't firing, it doesn't mean it can't. So my time at Friends has been spent learning to fix that cylinder to strengthen the whole machine. When a typical brain reads, it activates parts of the brain in the back left and also a small part in the front left. A dyslexic brain doesn't activate the posterior systems at all. A dyslexic brain uses auxiliary systems that are less effective and inefficient. My brain recognizes patterns very well, like I said. When I see a word problem on my math homework, I can see the next step by finding keywords and phrases. I see the equation in the words. When it comes to writing, I look at a prompt and I see a black hole that strips me of my thoughts and leaves nothing. I'll stare at the prompt or my own writing, and I can't find the next step. When I'm given the task of completing a math problem, I first look at the problem and recognize the type of problem it is, and recall the steps to solve it. Math is a language that I understand. It shows you a step-by-step plan and instructions similar to what you get with an IKEA shelf or Legos. When I was given a writing assignment in 6th grade, I would often sit there because I didn't want to do it. I would distract myself, pretend that I was working. I was upset with myself and become used to beating myself up. Even having the diagnosis of a written expression disorder, I thought of it as an excuse. In 7th grade, I would force myself to do writing assignments, stare at a screen blankly, and become frustrated with myself. The anger would only get worse over time. I would push myself and force myself to do it purely through determination. For the longest time, I've had decently strong speaking abilities, a particularly sophisticated vocabulary, and a confident writing voice. Even though I'm good with most of the writing process, the inferior organization of my ideas slowed me down and made it difficult to have a cohesive writing piece. So I had a problem, and I needed to fix it. I needed to see the steps I had to take in writing, just like I see them in math. This is where strategies with clear steps to help me develop my ideas came into play. By using a graphic organizer along with sentence starters, such as this quote shows, or as a result, I found it easier to get my ideas out in an organized way. The strategies I just mentioned were my formula for the equation, something I can understand. Because the brain is like an engine for ideas, it can be changed. With the right tools, it can run more efficiently and have an output of a higher quantity of powerful ideas. Looking back, I realized that my tendency to chastise myself led to the writing process being unnecessarily difficult. Instead of distracting myself, learning ways to make the process easier not only made it less difficult, but also improved my writing quality. Throughout this process, I've learned how to better myself by using the resources around me and figuring out strategies that work best for me. Thank you, and bye-bye.
And last but not least, Caleb Costa.
Good morning, Friends Academy. My name is Caleb Costa, and I am the third generation in my family to have been born with learning differences. Even though other members of my family may have learning difficulties, and didn't get the right education, my story is different because I have a mom who has never stopped fighting for what is good for me, and that is why I'm going to start this story with her point of view. My mother has been knocked down many times because of her own learning differences. Even though she has had her ups and downs, she has never stopped fighting to get me and my siblings a better education. Growing up, she saw that her own mother, my grandmother, was illiterate and had to drop out of school at an early age. My mom wanted my story to be different. When my mom found out she was pregnant with me, she was overjoyed to have me, and when she was 4.5 months pregnant, she was driving home from the hospital because she had a fever that lasted 3 days. When she was driving home, she was hit by a drunk driver. After that, the remainder of her pregnancy was very stressful. When I was born, my mom started noticing that I was having trouble doing things that my brother couldn't do when he was my age. She took me to the doctor to get tested, and I first received the news. When she first received the news of my diagnosis, she was initially saddened to find out something was wrong, and that this would affect me in all areas of my life. For every milestone I missed, a new diagnosis I gained. My mom would get an overwhelming sense of fear and anxiety if she couldn't find the answers while taking care of me and my brother. Pursuing services for me always had its obstacles, from early intervention, private speech, to occupational and physical therapy, and especially transitioning to school. Her drive to stop fighting for me and her kids came from deep within, knowing how much her mother had struggled with being illiterate and with very little education and resources. She knew that this wasn't a path that her kids would ever take, and she would do whatever it took to help support her kids, even though she didn't have anyone to help and advocate for her. She knew that she had to find a way to navigate through this to support my journey. During COVID, my mom noticed how much I was struggling and that I barely knew how to read and write. She started to dig in and saw that my school wasn't providing the right services. Things started to change within my first year at Friends Academy. By the middle of the year, I was able to read and spell better. At my old school, they would teach me a word on the board and then move on to the next thing. Here, Miss Costa would break down a word and it would get stuck in my brain. She would have cards and she would show me the parts of the words and I would tell her what they meant. My reading got better and so did my writing. The moment I realized this was when I didn't need any help with reading or writing, when I could do something that was my own work and not mainly my teacher's work. For example, this past year, I wrote an essay about Jacob Reese, and I wrote it all by myself with little to no help from my teacher. Looking back at my time at Friends Academy in the Sally Boarding program, I realized that I have learned that I'm able to read out loud and be able to break down word parts and read tough words with no help, and not stop and wait for my teacher to read the words so I can keep reading. Also, I have learned how to spell with little to no help at all. My mom has always believed that I am a unique puzzle piece that quite does not fit in, but when you find a place where the puzzle piece fits, it is so much fun to watch the puzzle piece fall into place and see what some fighting and some hard work can do. My mother didn't want me to know about my diagnoses until a few years ago, because she didn't want me to think that I am below all of my peers because I am different and not as book smart as them. Even though I may be different in ways, my parents didn't treat me any differently because they didn't want to limit me in any way. They always knew that I learned differently, and that was all right because everybody learns in all different ways. Before I leave, I want to thank my mom. I just want to say thank you for never giving up on me. Even though it can be difficult, you never stop fighting for me, and so thank you, and that concludes my speech. Thank you for listening to me today.
Congratulations, 8th graders. You make us so proud, and we can't wait to see what you accomplish in high school and beyond. Please stay in touch with us. Well done to all the students here today. You all should feel extremely proud about the year you have had. Before we move on, I want to have Mrs. B come on up to present our 8th graders with their certificates. So 8th graders and Mrs. B, please join us on stage.
Sharing your incredibly moving speeches with us. You have worked so hard, and we are all so proud of you and all that you have achieved. I can say, and I've been writing this in your yearbooks, that this
this year has been one of the highlights of my career and the most gratifying. I try not to cry. This SBP class is truly a special group of individuals, and it has been such a privilege to have been their teacher this year. Retief.
Welcome back, man.
Sorry, I forgot to say his last name. I'm so sorry. Okay, Heather Cerise. Ava Biltcliffe. Jake Hollister. Leo Ricard. Pat Sylvia. Duncan Smith. Caleb Costa. And one more round of applause for the Well, we made it. Thank you again to the faculty and the families for supporting these students. It's been a wonderful journey together. As we conclude this morning, I invite you to partake in some light refreshments prepared by our very own Chef Chris. Families, please find your child and enjoy this special celebration. Students should then reunite with their teachers and return to their classrooms. Thank you again. Have a wonderful summer.